All right, let's sync audio. You were supposed to clap.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
And you only do one. No.
I don't know how this works.
Anywho, you can turn the car off if you don't have the AC on.
Yeah, what's the point of having the car? No, but I won't get to use the...
You should be able to.
Really?
See,
What if this kills my battery?
it will if you keep doing that?
Okay, I'm sorry. So how are things?
Not bad.
Dude, this week has been pretty crazy. Even for myself.
Why's that?
Let's see, like all this craziness with traveling. I finally had to change out some cars, and I think I'm gonna make this my primary car.
Wow.
It just feels appropriate.
Swanging the bends.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe you saw the frickin' Rolls Royce like Ghost. And
Something, yeah.
dude, if I had money like that, like having a Mercedes is nice. You know, it's like what Mercedes they say is like premium.
I don't know what they say.
The slogan is the best or nothing.
You're right. You are right.
So I got the best.
And I got nothing.
I mean, you got a Volvo.
Yeah, but it's not a Mercedes, so it's nothing.
Yeah, but Volvo is also a premium luxury vehicle.
It is, somewhat. It is now.
Volvo also invented the first automatic transmission.
Did they?
Yeah.
I think they invented the seatbelt. They either invented the seatbelt, the airbag, or something like that. And
So
I think they didn't patent it because they wanted like people to be safe.
do you remember unbreakable windshields? Have you ever seen this? So back in like
Before safety glass.
before
And
safety
it would
glass,
just break in shards.
so it wouldn't even break in shards. They would sell like passenger windows, and they would have like baseball players bang bats on it, and the window wouldn't break. So then they thought it was a great idea. The window stays together, and then people started getting into accidents.
Yeah.
Except they would break the glass. Their head would be outside of the glass, but their body is inside of the glass, and the glass doesn't move. So it opened, and then it went right back to how it's supposed to be. Because there is that buoyancy and flexibility in that glass. When the bat hits it, you see the glass kind of like concave and then come right back to its original shape. So when you're in the accident and your head goes outside the window, you're decapitating
Good
people.
God.
Yeah, it was a real thing. There was a commercial. There'd be like people swinging bats on it. It was crazy.
Well then,
You thought that? Oh wow! You hear those birds?
I love it.
I love the birds.
Spring
It's
is sprung.
Yeah. What is it? Like April showers bring May flowers?
We better get some. Well, we're gonna get flowers and we're gonna get fucking annihilated by allergies. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I don't have allergies.
Lucky.
Do you have allergies?
I used to not have them.
Do you like take a pill or like an
No,
inhaler?
and I never used to get them. And then in college I got them, and I just have them now.
Oh wow. Like pollen, dust?
I think it's pollen.
Oh. Is that like? So back in like the days, right? Back before modern medication, what did people do when they have allergies?
Well, I bet that people didn't really get allergies because they grew up in that environment. You didn't grow up like in a air-conditioned environment your whole life, so your body probably was used to it to a certain extent. So it's not as shocking to your system when plants sprout because you're not like indoors all the time. I think it's because we're indoors all the time and kids aren't used to it. And then once they start experiencing, I don't know, outdoors,
Yeah.
their bodies just react like negatively.
This actually is like the whole concept of like your environment, you know, makes the decisions like depending on where you grew up, right? So like for me, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, Teddy, you're fucking Indian," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Indian."
People
So what?
say that.
So that means you can eat spicy food. You know, you love hot weather and like you can like be like anything and not get sunburned. And I go out there, I'm like, yeah, I mean like genetically, I am Indian. I should be able to eat spicy food. And but like
Yeah,
the way I
but
grew up, my environment, dude, there's no way I'm eating the same spice level as someone that's from native India. I mean, I'm from native India, but I'm nowhere close
No, yeah, 'cause
to like
that's
their
just,
spice
like,
level.
That's just like old wives' tales.
Dude, I go to the Indian like restaurant and I'm like, "Hey," and they're like, "Oh, how spicy do you want it, sir?" They're like, "Medium," and I'm like, "No, mild." It comes out mild. I'm like, "Damn, this is still spicy. Like, what the hell am I doing wrong?" It doesn't help. the environment is like, I don't know. I mean, I grew up in it, but like it didn't really.
Well, we're not scientists, but
We're not.
if that
We
isn't
could
like
be.
abundantly clear by now, but I feel like your body, when it's developing genetically, or it doesn't really develop genetically because you are what you are when you're born, and that's your genes, right?
Dude, if we bring like being LGBTQ into this, it's gonna.
I'm not going.
I'm
there.
not. I'm not
I
going
am
there either.
talking about
I'm not going there either.
what
But I'm
your
just.
body does
I'm just saying.
genetically. Like, and if it changes at all from when you're a kid to when you're an adult, I have no clue. But I feel like the way your body responds to things is a result of being exposed to things or not being exposed to things. Like, I think when they tested giving peanut butters to babies, or not babies, you're not supposed to, but young kids, as opposed to having them avoid it,
Yeah.
the allergy rate goes down. It's almost like a vaccine of sorts.
So if you give kids peanut butter early,
Yes.
they're not going to be allergic to peanut butter down the line.
Statistically, yeah.
That's crazy.
I think there was like one test that did that.
No, I mean, and that may be true with peanut butter.
So think about it, yeah. So think about it with allergies.
Yeah.
What if because like,
You're
I
building
think
your
about
immune
myself,
system.
like as a kid I was always outside.
Yeah.
Like, even in high school I was always outside. But then once I went to like college, then I was like dorm dwelling.
Yeah.
And then I just, like, my immune system was all suppressed because I wasn't sleeping. And then it only makes sense that I started getting allergies.
Because you were.
Because I was run down, I was indoors, like it's total pseudoscience, but
I want to believe
I feel
it.
like it makes sense.
I want to believe it, but then I had an experience where I went to go have dinner with my manager at that time, and we're eating dinner at the Sheraton restaurant in Columbus, Ohio. So while eating, we decided to get the buffalo shrimp appetizer. And dude, this guy loves shrimp so much, we got like 2 more plates. And they only give you 5 shrimps. They don't give you much, you know. It's like, yeah, they're big, but like it's 5, and it's not filling. And you know what? He ordered a few more plates, and we get like to the last plate, and he eats the shrimp. I look at him, and immediately I could tell something was wrong because he's doing this thing. Like,
Who is this?
my friend Saeed, not even a friend. He's really a manager of the databases at the last workplace I worked at, and Saeed, who's a Muslim American, right? So he practices halal. We made sure like everything was a halal meat. And I don't know if you know about halal.
Yeah, like what's the dumbed down version of what halal is?
So a dumbed down version of halal is the way an animal is sacrificed and killed. So like for them, a halal meat, you are cut at the neck and your blood is drained, and then you have your meat. Like once the blood is fully drained. A lot of people say it's a nicer quality of meat, all this stuff. In the end, it's religious.
I think
they do. I don't know. It doesn't matter for me.
Could be.
But in the end, he eats the shrimp. And this guy, I just watched him eat shrimp. Like I've gone with him at other places and seen him eat like shrimp rice or shrimp fried rice or shrimp biryani, whatever it may be. And he freaking is seizing and having a allergic reaction to shellfish in front of me. And he came back like 3 days later, and he's like, "Yeah, I went to the hospital. They said now I have a shellfish allergy."
That's so weird.
And it just happened at the time, dude. Unless I witnessed it myself and saw it happen, I would never believe like, "Oh, how do you know you have a shellfish allergy?"
That happens though. People develop allergies.
Yeah, and it's scary because you can love what you
Yeah,
eat,
imagine
and then
if
just
it was like you're like the biggest peanut butter fan ever, and then one day you're just allergic to it. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so bring it to like a TV show or something. You love Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and one day you're just, it's gone. Get out of here. What am I going to watch now? Chris Lee Knows Best?
That's probably for the better.
No, it really is. So
I'm looking at something from everydayhealth.com.
Okay.
Most people who develop adult onset allergies usually do so in their 20s and 30s. Although it's possible to develop them at any age.
So I would have been 20 and he would have been like 35.
That's weird.
Yeah, he was definitely 15 years older than me. I was working when I was young, man. My parents, like, they made me work right when I was 15. Dude, my first job, Stop and Shop. Nice. My second job, McDonald's.
I feel like the grocery store first job was a rite of passage, and I never did it.
What was your first job?
Landscaping.
Oh, I mean that's a just different venue.
I was almost actually I was more of a janitor. I was actually a janitor at a seminary.
What's a
A
seminary?
priest college.
Are you a priest boy?
No.
Okay.
But
Has priest done no things to you, Doug?
no. But no, they were all very nice. I swear to God. But yeah, no, I never did any of the normal first jobs.
Let's see. I mean,
I remember I applied to Dunkin' Donuts, and
Yeah.
I didn't get the job, but I don't know. I feel like that might have helped me develop my atrocious social skills a little more.
let's see.
Because working those jobs is like the ringer.
Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh yeah, especially I feel like working Dunkin' Donuts during rush hour is like that'll prepare you for everything else.
In the future.
Everything else will be easier than that. Or like working a service job.
To be honest, I learned talking to people from McDonald's because unless I was
yeah, I
like
bet you've
drive-through
dealt with
or like
everybody.
Dude, I've had the craziest stories, man. One time, this lady came in, orders McNuggets, orders a hamburger, and then tells me that she has no money. And I'm like, wait, I already put it into the system, and I'm ready to check you out, and you have no money. Like, I'm not going to give you money. I'm freaking 16.
Yeah, right.
And I think back, I'm like, maybe the girl was hinting at something. Maybe she was like, hey, I have no money. What can you do for me? Type thing. But I was young and dumb, 16. My hormones weren't up there, Being Indian, it's a little bit more relaxed. You don't age till you're 18, and then all of a sudden you grow up. You start getting hairy. You're like, oh, shit, I'm getting long. Dude, I get my driver's license, and I'm 5'2", right? 6 months later, they go to the doctors. I'm 5'9".
Get out.
100%. My old driver's license in the
had your
state of
spurt at,
Massachusetts,
like, what, 17?
the little vertical one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
vertical one.
Yeah, the vertical one said 5'2" on the thing.
And when was that? 16?
That was 15 and a half.
I guess that makes sense.
So 15 and a half. And then 6 months
It's
later,
sorta
so now
late,
I'm
but
16.
That's yeah. People have spurts in high school.
Oh, I remember my knees hurting, my elbows,
Yeah, that's
everything.
insane.
Yeah, dude, it hurt.
Eat Wheaties every day or something?
I don't know what I ate. I mean, I ate the school lunch food, so whatever, every day, hot lunch.
Fortified with something.
Yo, it was $2.75. You can't go wrong.
That was a government test. That's why it was so cheap.
I'd always go for the spicy chicken sandwich. It's always get the same meal because I can't eat beef, being Hindu. So
You were government test subject number 1, and it worked.
It did. It worked great.
Because back in the day, before food was readily available, malnourishment, people didn't grow as fast or at all. I saw this picture from it must have been the early 1900s during the Depression, where it was it was like a 4-year-old next to a 10-year-old, and you couldn't tell the difference because the 10-year-old was so malnourished. Same height, same weight.
North Korea, South Korea.
Yeah,
North Korean people of the
yeah.
same age are way tinier.
It's crazy.
I know. And even I think there was a recent study done of... Yeah, I don't know why that's interesting, but it's interesting. There's a recent...
It's a person.
Dude, it's a person getting into a car. This never happens. No, it really doesn't. We parked in the most vacant
but everyone
parking
comes
lot.
up to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, it's we're in I guess the smokers lounge area.
This is the smokers.
Yeah, I kind of want to flip the camera and be empty. This is what we do. It's literally empty, guys.
Now people can dox us.
Dude, there's no doxing from freaking parking garage.
Dude,
Are you kidding me?
you ever see Shia Labeauof? Alright, it's crooked. First off.
First off, thank you.
He Will Not Divide Us? You've seen that.
Wait, what?
The He Will Not Divide Us flag? And then
No, the
4chan
only
found-
Shia LaBeouf thing I know is just do it.
Oh, this is
And then the brown paper bag
old
thing.
news for some people, but... So Shia LaBeouf did an anti-Trump thing called He Will Not Divide Us. It was just a brand. It was an art installment. And he did it both as he would just stand in a place for 24 hours and chant it. And then after that, and he would live stream it. And then I think before or after that, he put up a flag and live streamed it. But no one knew where the flag was.
Yeah.
At
He will not
first.
divide us.
So
Where was the flag?
The basement dweller savants of 4chan, based on the clouds, or not the clouds, based on
If they can see that, he will not divide us.
Based on the constellation and star patterns in
Yeah.
the sky,
They figured
they
out.
triangulated where it is. And they either took it down or they were able to at least find out where it was.
Oh my god, that's.
And it was
just,
like the most. It was the most impressive
takedown using
It was
astrology.
the most impressive like coordination of like 4chan basement dwellers ever.
And to be honest, 4chan has helped take down a lot of crazy things. A lot.
Well, back in the day, they used to dox.
Like anything, like you
they-
posted a
they-
picture, you were doxxed. Like,
Well, but a lot of times they would dox like animal abusers and stuff like that. So it was almost like vigilante justice, but it usually wasn't. It was a lot of time it was just trolling, but yeah.
a lot of time it was just
it's
trolling.
such a-
But
it's-
like when the Virginia shooting and like all the mass shootings happened, they would try and get like pictures and try and be like, oh, is this guy and this guy, and then you end up finding out 4chan was wrong and it was actually you know another person.
Twitter and the rest of the internet started to adopt their ways and
Of
like
doxing.
Reddit started doing it. So Reddit did it real bad with the Boston bomber. I think it was the Boston bomber.
I feel like 4chan did the Boston bomber
I'm sure
really
they both
bad.
did, but Reddit has really strict what they call it. Yeah, it's getting hot.
Yeah, dude, it is. I feel like let's turn on the freaking car, bring it down.
I can cut it here because I stopped talking.
Nah, you're fine. I'm gonna leave all this in. This is all like
No,
free weird stuff.
I'll cut it. But so Reddit has really strict. What do they call it?
Doxing?
It's not even
Privacy?
Oh, it's in my tongue. It's like not groupthink, but like witch hunt rules.
Okay. Okay.
So you can't just like gang up on a person just because you saw a picture of them.
Okay.
Sort of like the Covington kids.
Okay.
So, but they did that with someone. I think it was the Boston bombing. Or if it wasn't, it was something else just as big, and it ended up being wrong.
Oh my God, I know what it is. It was the march of the group that was mostly against other races. They're mostly like marching in like Virginia or something, and
The Charlottesville
march? No, it was
But
like
the
this group that was
Tortini
marching, and they got so many people marching, and they just like marched like saying like,
Well, regardless, Reddit adopted the ways of like 4chan doxing,
yeah,
but they ended up pinpointing the wrong people, and it started to get really dangerous because it was these people were getting doxed and getting death threats, and had to like go on like virtually their own sort of witness protection because people don't realize the power of the internet and the collective sort of hive mind once
Right.
everyone sort of starts thinking like, oh, we got him, we got the suspect.
we got the guy, yeah,
The power like a lot of small pieces can have
yeah,
is actually pretty big,
right,
and that's why like even Twitter, like Jack Dorsey's trying to figure out how to negate like hive mind and bubbles. It's like
yep,
you may not feel powerful as a commenter,
yeah,
but like you get enough people on the same page like that with no like due process,
yeah,
dude, you could shut down a city with this.
yeah. You
Like-
could. That would be horrible, but like, sadly, it's true.
Yeah, but
You could literally dox anybody. You add machine learning into that, face recognition technology. You can build an app
right, because
that's sole purpose
you
is to
have like
find
the
you.
armed soldiers, just the people who know how to Google search.
Yeah.
But then since it's the internet and it's the power of the internet, it's the power of like having access to all brain power. You might have like a hacking expert
In your
now down
Yeah.
for the cause, who can like hack infrastructure or cameras.
all
which
the
is
tools are
basically
there.
4chan.
All the tools are there. There's a company that does the face recognition. There's a company that does the machine learning, and there's the developer who can bridge the gap between both of them, and have one great thing. You know, it's crazy, dude.
Well, it's sort of the precursor to what technology could turn into, where we are actually patched into each other's minds.
Like you can
it's
hear.
like we basically are with the internet.
Yeah.
But in the future, we literally will.
We literally will be. Yeah, I could literally not talk and we just have conversations.
We're almost there. We could text each other.
Yeah. And dude, now texting is more open than freaking calling. Half the time I call somebody, it goes to voicemail. I text them, they text back immediately. I'm like, something's wrong here.
Literally.
Like, why didn't he just pick up? Because I'm a
funny,
guy,
yeah.
I love the phone. I like the voice to voice. You text me, like, English isn't my first language.
Phone calls are like a novelty now.
But English isn't my first language, and for some reason I feel like I can articulate what I want to say better than I can type it. Because like I
Plus
type
you
it,
get that instant response.
yeah,
And there's an actual conversation.
and there's an actual conversation. I type it, and I feel like I may come off as angry when I just mean to ask a question.
Yeah, and even though texting does get their attention, at the same time you're just free to ignore it.
Yeah, you are free to ignore it.
And I feel like we're like a very ignore-heavy society now. Back in the day,
everything's spam, so
that's-
I go through my
well,
mail.
that's a
Like
whole- that's a whole
95% of my
different
mail
conversation,
is
but yeah.
trash.
But I mean, in general, like the fact that you can sort of ignore a text, but you still saw it, you still read it,
Yeah,
and like that's sort of how we're communicating now with all these like nuances, and we're not actually like talking to each other. Like back in the day, like when you want to go play outside with your friends, like you like that would like you get the ball rolling on
Right.
that plan instantly, and you'd be doing it, and it's like no question, we're doing this. Like even in high school, like yeah, we're gonna go hang out.
right.
But I don't know if this is getting older or just the way we communicate via text. It's like it is way too easy to say no to a plan now.
Oh
And
my
I am the
God.
worst offender of it.
Tentative. We tried hanging out with Dag outside of work, and like we made plans. It was supposed to happen, and guess who was tentative?
That's me. That's my nickname. That's my middle name, actually. But,
Dag tentative. Dag.
Yeah, there you go.
Dag tentative Dag.
But yeah, I'm the worst offender of it. But I have friends who do it too. It's like if you called, or how about this? If you could experiment, like calling somebody versus texting somebody,
Yeah.
and trying to plan something.
Yeah.
If you call somebody, I bet that plan goes through, and you're gonna hang out with that person. If you text somebody, there's probably like a 90% chance that plan's gonna fall through because they can just ignore it.
Right. Right.
I sort of just realized that.
I mean, I do it, so I mean, that's why I brought it up. I'm like, dude, this is a thing that happens to me currently. Dude, I just got an alert about the Venezuela uprising update, and I guess now Juan Guaido?
I have no clue.
Guaido?
The acting president.
The acting president
supposed to win.
has now. They both declared victories. At a
So
different
this
time.
is the military coup.
So
you're
now it's a
talking
military coup, but Maduro, the current
about. Yes.
president, is
Yes.
saying this is a coup attempt, while the acting president's like, yeah, we need a military uprising in order to get Maduro out. I won.
And, yeah, and he apparently has a lot of the National Guard on his side.
He does have a lot of National Guard, and the weird part is they both had military behind
weird.
them. It's
But remember
like,
when this happened in Turkey a couple years ago? You don't remember
yeah, I
that?
feel like something did happen
I
in
forget
Turkey.
the name of the
yeah, there was a coup attempt,
whatever
and like,
head of state that was, but
and like somehow everyone came together when the president landed and like took him to the stadium, and he made a speech, and everything was okay or something,
yeah,
right?
It was weird. Like it almost got to a bad point, but then it didn't. I remember he's like Skyped the news at one point. It was like FaceTime, and it was like it was the silliest thing I'd ever seen at the time. But now, I don't know. Are we gonna see more of these military coups like this?
How many other countries are suffering like Venezuela is suffering?
Not many. It's Venezuela right now is like unparalleled.
Well, the other one I was thinking about was like Greece was going through something
Greece
like that.
was, but I haven't been keeping up with that. That's just one of those things. You hear that a country is, or a society is going through something, and then it's covered up by the next news story in the next 5 minutes. It doesn't mean it went away.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it went away.
Like
it just means
Greece could be crumbling right now. We have no clue because we're all focused on Venezuela.
Was it the tourist industry that was?
Well, their economy was garbage. That's all I know.
Okay, their economy was garbage.
whatever the actual term for it would be.
And like I thought Egypt was the same way. Wasn't something going on in
was the
Egypt?
same
Like
way,
there
I think.
was.
Yeah.
Like these are scary. Like if anything, like I don't want to travel to these.
But people are, which is crazy.
Is Costa Rica near Venezuela?
I don't know.
So I was looking at vacation spots from like America
Vaguely.
to like wherever, right? Outside of America. And there's a lot of cheap Southern American flights you can get. But hearing about Venezuela, I'm kind of like, if another country breaks out while I'm over there touring,
That'd be the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, I don't want to
that's
be
like people who go to
Tel Aviv and Gaza, right? Like when that whole thing happened, there were Americans there.
I mean, that's like people who go to
during the change of the embassy.
Either Colombia, Brazil, or like what's the other one? I know Colombia and Brazil, in particular. I know one of them has like the murder capital of the world. It might be Rio. But like people,
like,
it's
Cuba?
like I'm sure it's maybe, but it's like these places are like the
don't kill us
vacation like destinations, and like people have these like villa houses there, but then like feet away you have like the murder.
Cancun, Mexico has a lot of beach murders that happen, and it's hidden so well.
Cancun is a good example.
Oh my God, it's
you fly
scary.
to this little and the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, you fly to
these little isolated like little fucking resorts,
yeah.
and then you walk like 10
You're
minutes.
only safe on the resort. As soon as you leave the resort,
it's so dystopian.
And it's not even you leave the resort. As soon as you get on the beach, you could be murdered. As soon as you get on the beach, you could be robbed. That's sad. I mean, I understand not everyone's going to have the same experience.
It's like a red pill. It's like, hey, look at this. This is actually reality.
So my brother went to med school in Granada, and I went to go visit there. And Granada's just an island. And while we're over there, there's attack that happens at the Secrets Resort over there. And I was like, what do you mean attack? It's like, yeah, some guy came out with a machete, he robbed somebody, like the guy's a little cut up, but it's all good. I'm like, that's not all good in my opinion. I feel like, okay, the guy lived, it's all good, but like, that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Granada was in the infomercials and everything, they show it as like the touristy place. Come here, it's safe. You're no peace, like you're gonna just be peaceful, not no
sandals.
Peace. Yeah, like a sandals, right? So it's Secrets instead, which is both adult resorts where they don't allow children.
Sounds like swingers, but okay.
It's Sling TV. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, I saw that commercial. Like they're like, "Hey, you want to sling tonight?" And like Emily's like, "What? What are you watching?" I'm like, "It's some like Sling TV commercial," and it's like Sling
is just a USB stick, I thought.
I know it's the Parks and Rec guy. You know the Parks and Rec guy,
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, it's that guy.
That's just a la carte TV.
Yeah.
So you can choose which channels you want.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like.
But maybe there's a swingers
Apple.
channel. If you're into
There's a lot of adult entertainment channels. I ain't subscribed to them though.
With the internet.
And now I can do it right through. You know, before I had to call and been like awkward, like, yeah, I'm trying to get Destination America. Now I can just do it right from the cable box, add to the package, nice and simple. But what kills me is when you're paying too much and you're like, yeah, 150 sounded great at the time, and now you're at like 300, and you're like, wait, is cable really worth 300? We talked about this
last time where you buy all these streaming services, and it's like you thought you're saving money, but now that you have all of the streaming services, you're paying what you were paying for cable before anyway. Even though it's more worth it.
I now look at it, and the streaming service, I'm paying like maybe $10 for Netflix, $12 for Hulu.
And they keep going up. Didn't Netflix just go up?
Yeah, Netflix just went up. I think it's $12.95 or something.
But
it's $24 bucks
crank
total.
Out all this content to justify the.
And then Amazon.
So it's like I don't watch any of that content. I don't need all those bullshit shows.
So Amazon's included in the price. So that's like Prime. So like $80. So 80 plus 20, I'm at $100. And then cable, I can go anywhere depending on the boxes. I can, let's say, mid-level to hundo.
Yep.
100.
I mean,
200.
they make you buy it because you have to buy the bundle.
Yeah. And then you get HBO Go, that's another 12, so now you're at 112.
Which I'm thinking about doing, because I don't have Netflix right now. I think I'm going to get HBO, whichever the on-demand was. Now or Go? Go,
HBO
right?
Go is on demand.
Because
HBO Now, I
think,
they
have a bunch of documentaries I want to see. There's a documentary on that lady from Theranos.
Oh, Theranos.
Yeah.
Oh, Theranos. So I don't know if you guys know, but Theranos is basically a lady who and you look at she looks like a very nice lady.
She was supposed to be the female Steve Jobs.
She looks like a very nice lady. She always wears the black turtleneck. She always talks in a very masculine voice.
And the company that she built was what? Genetic testing?
And it's genetic testing. And it's blood testing. And what it really is it's blood testing with the least amount of blood drawn. So instead of getting vials of blood, we're talking like a drip of blood, and they're able to run full blood panels. Now, this is the thing. It was a scam. and
It was a shell company.
It didn't work. There were a few things that worked. They sold it worked, but like the actual premises of Theranos did not work because you would go into the laboratories that are Theranos approved, whether it's Walgreens who took on Theranos and thought it was going to be a thing and then scrapped the project. But you go in and they go, oh, we can't, this test that we have, we can't take the Theranos when we're going to have to take more blood than Theranos, and they end up taking a normal amount of blood, and they don't even run it through the Theranos thing, which had like I think a 1.6% error rate higher than the old test. So they ended up just running it through the old test and saying it was Theranos results, and it's like, this lady, Steve Jobs lady, black turtleneck, talks, a little different. Weird part is her older coworkers were like, she didn't always talk like that. She had like a regular
I heard
voice.
There's a big debate about the voice that she put on. But anyway.
But now she has a boyfriend who's like
all these
younger.
Documentaries about it, and one of them is on HBO, and that looks like the best one. And there's another documentary that HBO just put out. I forget what it was on, but I know I want to see it. But
there's only so much you can learn with the amount of blood you have in your body and the type of blood, and it's definitely a starting.
Gonna grow, though.
It's a starting area, but
that's what we're gonna. I mean, medicine's gonna be based on that going forward. Like, you're going to take your genes, you're going to be like, oh, well, you're definitely going to have this later in life, so you're going to take this medicine now. Like, they're going to be able to give you a complete life plan off your genetics.
Theranos had a good idea. I think 23andMe is on the right track in order to build that database and make those analytics.
But you know the conspiracy about those things, though, right?
Dude, I don't want to be in a DNA database.
A DNA database that just goes right to the CIA or something like that.
Because if they want to run it through other known databases, they can.
They get your fingerprint from Apple. They get your DNA from 23andMe. They get your appearance
from FaceTime. Face recognition.
Instagram or FaceTime. They get your voice from Facebook because they monitor.
Yeah, they monitor everything.
They could probably recreate you in a complete Android form, with all these different
all these different technologies. All they need is one guy to put it together.
Then they can get rid of the human race and then just have all these
cyborgs everywhere,
based on real people.
Dude, we could be cyborgs right now, just hooked up somewhere and just like.
Novel.
This is the best.
Dude,
let's end it on this cliffhanger. Now the world will never know.
Just don't use that idea because that times.
Regardless, it's a good place to wrap up. I think we've been doing well. We're at 5 subscribers. The views are going up. The SoundCloud now has all 6 episodes.
Well, no, because
5 episodes.
It's starting to knock off the old ones because we only have a finite amount of runtime unless we buy Pro, which I might do actually. But because I actually keep getting ads for them.
Eventually we'll figure out
targeted ads, but
eventually we'll figure it out, guys. Keep watching, keep subscribing.
But these are getting better anyway, so I don't even want the first ones to be up.
Nah, we always got to have the first one so they know where it all started. They're like, wow, these kids are so sad.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Oh my gosh.
I should turn my freaking ACC down a bit.